Hello, this is the closing video of our CAS project, the dry car wash. My name is Bob.
I'm Amber.
I'm Leslie.
And we'll first talk about how we came up with the idea, a dry car wash. So we went online for 1,000 fundraising ideas, and then we found that a car wash, we figured that a car wash would be a profitable event.
And since our goal this year is to raise money for a water sanitation system for people in Nepal, and we wanted to conserve water as well as
We wanted to conserve water and minimize our usage of water because our goal is ultimately to raise money for a water filtration system for people without water in Nepal. So we thought that if we were to do a normal car wash not a dry car wash, a traditional car wash with hoses and everything, it would be hypocritical of us to do so.
Right. So for the dry car wash, instead of using a hose to wash the car, we are cleaning the windows, the interiors of the car, and vacuuming the car.
So within our CAS project, the three of us worked together to plan out all the details of this car wash and to execute it.
In the tasks that we worked together on during the planning process, we decided on who was going to contact the venues, who was going to contact insurance, who was going to contact the sponsors, and most importantly the volunteers, because without them it would have been impossible. And regarding issues of global importance, it was to raise money for a water filtration system for drinking water, which is something that everybody in the world needs, and it's something that brings us together.
Right. And it's a big problem in many parts of the world. And we consider ethical implications in this event because we're raising the money for the water sanitation system in Nepal. Now we're going to talk about the planning process. So for the planning process, we had to contact the venue of the event. We actually contacted so many places. Leslie contacted Home Depot at first, and the person hung up.
So basically, I contacted Home Depot, Canadian Tire, and the school board and stuff. But then I initially contacted Canadian Tire, but they were taking a really long time to respond. So I thought that we could contact Home Depot as well. But as I was on the phone with the manager, mid-conversation, he hung up on me. So we took that as a sign that we were not welcome there. So we also contacted the property managers at Morgan Crossing, and they sounded pretty enthusiastic about it. And I thought that we would be able to secure a venue there. And so I proceeded to send them details about the event, a letter with all the particulars, and they never responded. And then Canadian Tire responded a week after, but then they were like, we can give you this venue, but then they contacted me a day after, and then because the manager had found out that there was another event that would be taking up the parking lot for the entire month of June, so we could do that.
And we also contacted Petro-Canada on 152nd Street. They did say yes, and we were going to meet the guy and talk about the details, and then he was suddenly like, I actually don't have I didn't have the permission to say yes to the event, but I did, so sorry. So it's actually, we can't give you the location. So that was really disappointing. We got a green light first, and then he was like, no.
And afterwards, we tried contacting the school board to see if we could borrow the school parking lot. But then we realized that the procedure would take really long because it would have to go through a lot of government channels and a lot of waiting. And other than the location, in the end,
in the end, I contacted Semiamu Shopping Center, and then they said they were able to help us. So. Yeah, but they said they needed insurance of $2 million liability. So I had to contact many insurance companies to get the best price. And in the end, we got Westland Insurance with a premium of $143, $1,000 deductible.
So other than the location, another big part of our event, for an event to be successful, was the promotion. So we contacted Surrey Digital and a lot of other different printing companies and asked them to sponsor us if just a little bit, if only a portion of our promotional notices. And Surrey Digital agreed, and Bob designed some notices for us, little notices that were to be printed on letter-sized paper. And along with this, we had to find volunteers to help us distribute the notices, but it was hard to find volunteers for the distributing and the promotion because people weren't really open.
They weren't really eager to walk in the sun for
Right.
2 hours in hot June, and plus it's summer, so they had better things to do.
And also many people were out of
The country for vacations and
Yeah.
stuff.
So in the end, we ended up doing it ourselves, and we managed to rope in 1 or 2 of our friends each to help us with it.
So throughout the planning process and the executing of the actual event, there were things that went well for us, and there were also some things that set us back.
So for example,
Oh.
Surrey Digital was kind enough to charge us only $10 for 1,200 notices. And this helped us in the way that it helped us stay under our budget, which we used up a lot of because we had to buy a lot of things like freezies, and we had to buy insurance and things like that.
Yeah.
And many people also gave us $20, but the average was around $15. So, and we planned really well because we had a lot of time because we couldn't find a venue. So we thought of additional things that we left out in the earlier meetings. So, yeah.
Unfortunately, we got quite a lot of volunteers on the day of the event. Actually, in the morning, we had more than what we expected. So that was really good. And then Amber was able to acquire a tent and a generator to plug in the vacuum. And she also brought a very powerful industrial vacuum to suck up all the dust.
Water.
Right, and water. Oh, and Semi Mall was really nice generally in the contract, and then they provided us with a table on the day of the event. And the event went quite smoothly. We had no injuries other than sunburns. And there are also things that didn't go quite well.
Yeah, there were also things that didn't go quite well. The insurance was actually more expensive than we had anticipated,
Right.
especially since we were going to sell freezies, but that didn't really work out. So the insurance was higher.
It was $60 higher than the insurance without the food, which we probably shouldn't have got.
Like we were thinking about selling freezies, and we had the freezies, we got the insurance, but we realized that on the day of the event that nobody wanted to buy any freezies. So instead, we gave them to the volunteers as
Which
like
was good.
as a thank you for helping us on the day of our event.
And
So the insurance next time, so the insurance was $143, but the actual premium that went into the company was $98. The $45 went to the broker. So next time, we think that if we contacted more places and got more information, we could have gotten a cheaper price.
and possibly some sponsors instead of just
Right.
paying more money for the insurance, which was basically it was the biggest expense in our budget. And looking for a venue, we were slowed down we had to delay our event 3 times because we couldn't, two times because we couldn't find a venue in time, and that really set us back. It set us back at least a month. So that was a very big setback, but in the end we still got it done. And for advertising, we didn't get enough volunteers, and we didn't really reach our goal for the profits. We only managed to raise $60.
But that's okay, because we learned a lot about planning events and communicating with places, and we learned a lot.
And like things we learned was like, instead of just emailing them, we should just call them directly, because email there's a lot of room for miscommunication in email, and it's a lot slower. If you just phone them, you can just discuss the details in a matter of minutes, as opposed to an email taking like an hour or 2, or maybe even a day to get a reply.
In working on this project, we realized how important collaborating with others was. Working together, it really helped us speed up the process. Yeah.
And since we had 3 people, we came up with a lot of different ideas, and we managed to brainstorm like what would work and what wouldn't work, which probably would not have been possible if this was just planned by like one person, and the workload was distributed quite evenly, so that cut down a lot of time.